Good morning, ladies and gents. Welcome to Living with S. I'm Sharon Mundia, and today we are at the beautiful Dusit D2 Nairobi, which recently opened, or reopened rather. Now, today's conversation, we're going deep. We're going to those questions that will leave you maybe in tears, maybe feeling enlightened. Those questions like, what is life? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? And we've got a motivational speaker, a life coach, an author of not one, not two, not three, but 5 books. That is Dr. Mohammed Bahaidar, who's actually based in Qatar, but he's in Kenya for a few days for a quick tour. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Whoa. So given the kind of topics that you write about, you know, and the fact that it forces you to self-reflect quite a bit, are you always thinking about these things? Like,
yeah, actually, what motivates me is the pain people go through. You know?
Okay.
Each one of us, sometimes we get to a position that we feel isolated, despised. Sometimes maybe we are not worth.
Right.
Understand? So these things, at the end of the day, they affect us.
Yeah.
They bring low self-esteem and all such stuff like that.
Yeah. So you're like, in your mind, it's sort of always running on how do I impact others and sort of bring people out of this state of pain.
These kind of questions that runs through my mind. At the end of the day, nataka kujua, at the end of the day, how do I answer them? That's the first question that comes in me. Okay, if I cannot answer this, then why am I living here? You know? We need to live, not exist in this world, right? So that's the purpose of it. Yeah.
Wow, and I admire that in you, because those are usually the difficult questions that you're like, it's okay, I'll just try to figure out what we're having for dinner tonight, then we'll figure out what life is about. So before we even dive into, you know, the heavy topics and your books as well, I want to get to know you a little bit. Tell me about your childhood. I know you're based in Qatar, but you were brought up in
Mombasa, Kenya.
Mombasa.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Sisi watoto wa mtaa, usio. Basically, tukisema success comes from people who started as smart people, that will be a lie. Mimi nimeanza from a humble background. I went to 2 nursery schools. I failed my first grade interview. I repeated 3 times in 4th grade in 3 different schools. I have schooled over 9 schools. I've been in 9 different schools.
Okay. And why the hopping?
The performance was very bad. Actually, I was usually the bottom of my class, and nikiperform sana labda second last. That is where you know. So because of the life steam, peer pressure, you cannot do it. Ways you ni nani. But what motivates me is they have a saying that says, when you see a caterpillar, you will never predict it will be a butterfly, right? So caterpillars are us, isolated, despite. And at the end of the day, we feel like we cannot match up to the society that we are living in. The standard is too high. Kila kitu, kila moja is competing to be better than the other one. So unajiona uko peke yako. As if the whole world, you can be in a family, tuko watu 20, but still you feel that I'm isolated. I'm lonely. How comes? Tuko watu 20, how comes you are lonely? Or sasa yes, because we wataka kuwa mtu. Because the purpose of us, human being, the initial word being is to become someone. So who are you becoming tomorrow? That is the question. As ikiwa mimi sitokuwa mtu, then why am I? Yes. Yes, so because we live in a life is as if we have a certain manual that we need to operate on. Kama vile unavoletewa gari ama friji, unakuwa na manual bana hii afa kuwashwa vipi. All that, and that is our lifestyle. You need to go 20 years in school so that you can perform in this world. That is the system how it is. So if you cannot perform with that manual, then where do you expect this person to be?
Right. So I guess it forced you to really question, what is my purpose? If I can't even perform in school, then what am I going to do?
Yes.
So obviously at some point there was a big shift, because you seem quite, you know, self-aware. When did that shift start to take place?
When I was 18, I received one of the books that I read. It's called Why Do Students Fail But It Is Easy to Pass?
What?
Why do students fail?
But it's easy to pass?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see where this is going. What did that book say?
So in that book, nimepata some of anecdote that they are talking of Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison. They were actually failures in life, you know. Mtu kama Albert Einstein alipokuwa primary school, principal wake alimwambia nini? You can never go far with your studies. Today, he didn't only go far with his studies, all his theories today tunasoma na Nobel Prizes alopata, amepata doctoral honor. Yeah. How did this happen? It's a simple concept kama mwalimu amekuwa, you know, I call these dream killers, whereby our teachers are the ones that are shattering us, you understand? So ikiwa wewe uko katika society you're not performing na mwalimu akuonesha wewe ni zuzu, ama society akwambia wewe huwezi kitu, wewe ni mjinga, so we tend to absorb it.
Yeah, and as children respond,
yes.
Children are sponges.
Sponges.
Yeah.
So once we absorb, it relies on our subconscious, because the initial stage of you learning is up to 7 years old. This is where subconscious starts molded.
Okay.
After 7 years old, how do you get something to be in your subconscious mind is through repetitive actions. Okay. Ukifanya kitu kila siku, there's a time when you are driving your car. They say, you know you're home every day, I'm going to your home. Lakini sometimes maybe you're not concentrating for like 5 minutes, kisha bado umeendelea. How did you know and you're not concentrating? This is the subconscious that is operating. But now, ukiwa utafocus with the initial subconscious, which is the 7 first years, which is everything, ambo mimi nalaumu sana wazazi, they need to know how to take care of that subconscious mind. Ukiweza ku take care within the first 7 years, then the kid will be a genius, hata kama alikuwa zuzu. And that is what happened to Albert Einstein. Alipofukuzwa skuli, principal alimpatia barua mama, yeye Albert Einstein, give it to your mom. Akampelekea mamake. Aliposoma mamake was in tears. Amefukuzwa skuli. He's too dumb. Make mpaka miaka 7 he cannot talk. Yani he was that slow. Sasa akamwambia bana huyu he cannot study, let him just be at home and we no longer want him in our school. So the thing is, ukitazama that situation, mother was very smart. Alisoma, but he didn't give that feedback to the son. What alimwambia mwanawe, alimwambia mwanangu, you are a genius. That walimu kule wameshindwa kufundisha and they want your mom to teach you because no one can teach you in school. And the kid became a genius with 160 IQ.
Wow.
From nothing to people now are talking about him.
Yeah.
People are studying on him.
Study his theories today.
Tusimalize hapo, let's talk of Thomas Edison.
Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, yes, and I get there's all these icons. So what did that book, now I want to go back to you. What did that book do?
Now that
for you
motivates me. You know, you understand kwamba nchiko peke yangu. Once you feel you are with another, ndo asema samaki mmoja, at least all of you is like you're in a community that, okay, even if I'm not performing, but there were people who lived the same life and they succeeded. So it's not about failing in school that will tell you that your success will not appear. Understand? So ile motivate me that, okay, so there are people who achieved much, and they didn't do much, you understand? So, and the exposure when I was in Malaysia, back then I went to university.
So after, when you were 18, when you graduated uni, you went to Malaysia?
Yes, I went to Malaysia. And
this is after reading this book?
Reading books, okay. Now I started reading books.
And what were you studying in Malaysia?
I did business administration.
Okay. So you were saying now that you're in Malaysia,
yes,
you're reading these books?
You know, ukiwa hakuna pressure, you are alone there, you have to study, right? And those reading books helped me. And my first term, I was the top student in my university.
What?
Yeah.
From being last?
In class to the top student in my university. In fact, I became the president of the university. So,
president of the
university, you know, we have this concept whereby it's like a liaison where you handle students, ni kama the president wao, yeah? So we had that, yeah. So that kind of like student president and all that, so everything itakuwa wewe una handle kama ambassador wao, bringing students from all over the world in the world.
What?
Yes. So that changed me, kwamba I still can do it, yeah? Na hakuna mtu, kwa sababu people they told you you're stupid, you believed in it. Lakini si kwamba people told you you're stupid, then you are stupid, no.
Yeah.
So
did you have those people telling you that you were stupid? I mean, I know that your grades weren't good, but did you have?
Yes, a lot of people.
Who, teachers or who
in fact, my teacher, kila nikiingia klasini, the only composition that they will take is mine, so that they can ridicule it. Yeah, wacheke, wafanye mzaa, angalia ameandika nini. My English was very weak.
Yeah.
But now, the more he did that, the more he was motivating me to look more for knowledge. Today I'm an author. You know,
5 books and more to come. So tell me about the process of writing your first book, The Hidden Self. How did you come to that?
you know, once I studied this, I was more focused on life and the behavior of human beings and the psychology of the mind, how it operates and all that. I read a lot of books. I've covered over 2,000 books for over 14 years. And it took me a lot of time to come up with my first book, The Hidden Self. You need
How long did it take you?
It started on 2018. In 2000 when I was 18 years old.
When you were 18, okay, so the process started.
The process started there, 2008, like that way.
Yeah.
And nikamaliza kitabu, the first copy in 2012.
Okay.
Then I finished the reversed edition now 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it took me a lot of time,
Yeah.
kwa sababu kila ukitizama kile kitabu you still feel there is more to put input, because ni kitu ambao you cannot tell people they need to understand themselves if you don't understand yourself.
So that's what the book is about. You can't tell people.
You need to understand yourself, you need to understand your talent.
Okay.
Na wewe mwenyewe ujielewe, sasa utakuwa mweleza nani ajielewe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the hidden self?
The hidden self, I believe we have two aspects of our life.
Okay.
You know? We have the inner operating system and then the outer one. That is what we call a self-image, whereby what you see in the mirror, it's you as a body structure, but there's something inside you that most people they don't know. And that is whereby ukiwa kuna jambo you want to make a decision, there are two voices talking to you. Okay. One tells you to do it, the other one tells you don't do it. Who are these?
Who are these, Dr. Bahaida? You tell me, who are these?
Yeah, you know the thing.
I'm actually curious. What would you call them? Is it the soul?
The hidden self.
The voice.
That is the
God,
name. No.
The hidden self.
The hidden self. That is what I call them. Because wajua sisi tumechukulia human being is this physical body,
Yeah.
but no. Nikikwambia today we have 7 trillion cells in your body. They operate as each one of them as a living cell. So tukizungumza masala ya human being. So the body kila mmoja anatizama kama mwili ni huu hapa. Tunauona, right? Physical body, right? But the real thing is we have 7 trillion cells, living cells inside us. And we live as a community, not as a one person. So if we are able to operate and know how to nurture these cells that are inside us, we're able to succeed. Lakini ikiwa tujielewi, and that's why you can wake up in the morning and say, ai, leo mimi najisikia vibaya, so my day will be bad. Believe me, the whole day will be bad. Kwa sababu wewe ushapeleka information kwamba today it's supposed to be bad.
Yeah.
And everyone now knows in your body that the community knows today bwana ni siku mbaya. Kwa hivyo leo tujitayarishe kuwa na huzuni.
My gym session this morning with my coach was just traumatic because I knew it was a tough workout, and I was shaking and just thinking I cannot do it because I'd seen someone say how hard it was. And you were, before the break, you were also saying, like, you've got to change the way you speak to yourself. And I am telling you, I tried to change that self-talk, and the whole time I was like, I can't do it. I finished the workout, but are there quick tips to change that mindset? What do you do to change that negative self-talk?
Do you see where the problem is? We are looking for microwave solution.
Yeah, give me a microwave solution.
No.
No, I mean, I know it's not that simple.
The thing is, we may suffer with something for over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and then you expect over one night everything to change.
Okay.
This is impossible. Just the way you trained your mind to be this way, then we have to train it to be the other way.
So what are some ways that we can train our minds?
We have this concept of affirmations whereby you wake up in the morning every day looking at the mirror and say, I can do it.
Yeah.
What are your aspirations? You should have a certain goal set whereby I need this to be done at a certain point. Whereby at that time, ikishafika umemaliza, so I'm going for a next step.
Yeah.
So you have a purpose in life, umekuwa fixed on a certain arena. Lakini sasa ikiwa wewe kila siku, you just randomly rush, whatever it is. So whenever you are pausing, subconscious take over, and then what happens is, whatever that has been haunting you all those previous years, they come back again. They resurfaces. Yeah.
You've brought up the subconscious rather. you said this is something that is molded or built within the first 7 years. How is that done? Is it through, what shapes it? What molds it?
Okay, let me say this. Hawa ni watoto wadogo.
Yeah.
So sisi kama parents, we have a big
Yeah.
part to play around in
Yeah.
these kids to mold them. Okay, so tuseme today weza fanya kitu nikakwambia umeka kama mako. You did something like your mama used to do it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. How did that come about?
Yeah.
Because repetitive.
So one of the things that helps shape this is modeling. So you
Yes.
start watching what your parents or the people around you, your guardians, are doing,
Very good.
and you start to model it.
Mtoto amwona mtoto amwigiza babake, mtoto amwigiza mamake.
Okay.
If you teach him how to lie, he will lie. Amwona baba leo amedanganya, na utamwona shika simu. He does the same because now it is like an app.
Yeah.
It's copying each and everything because now it's more of if I give you a tape recorder or an iPhone and you want to listen to music, haiwezi kuwa na music hii ni mpaka uinstall a
Yeah.
program and application.
So yeah, so the installing process has to do with modeling, and I guess even words,
Yes.
how you speak to them.
Yes.
So say for instance, the first 7 years of a child were very traumatic.
Yes.
Poor parenting, negative talk. You know, it was just an abusive, horrible space.
Yes.
How then do you change that default setting that was set in your first 7 years?
Through repetitive. Sasa kama vile ulivyozoea mwanzo,
Yeah.
you are taught that way,
Yeah.
now we have to teach you another way around. So it will be a constant repetitive, you have to see something good each and every
Okay.
day to get there.
Is that what you did?
Yeah,
Is
we
that, was that part of your process?
Yes. And had a supportive family for that also.